So today, I was speaking to my sister about how to journal. I was saying how, after a long day of work, when you're feeling stressed out, I just journal and I get everything out and then I feel better. And she asked me a question that I was so surprised about. She was like, how do you journal your feelings? And I thought to myself, well, you just write them down. And she goes, but how? I thought everybody knew how to journal, but that's not the case. If you've never been a journaler, I've been journaling since I was like maybe 10 years old. I had my clueless journal. Oh my God, there goes my, anyways, my age is like there, but like I had the clueless journal and it was like fuzzy and I had the fuzzy pen and it was just so cute. And I realized I've been journaling my whole life. And if you're just starting, you don't know how to journal your feelings. How do you share your most private inner thoughts in a book? The first tip that you need to know when journaling is to not be afraid of the blank page. And that is the hardest thing to do. I think when you're getting started, seeing that like blank page is just intimidating. It's almost like you're fighting to be perfect. You're fighting to write perfectly and to make everything nice and clean, especially on the first page. And I remember taking a art class. We were painting masks. I was so afraid to do that first paint mark. I was just terrified. And the teacher came and like, I think I was probably sitting there for like 5-10 minutes. Like I just didn't want to mess anything up. And she came and she was like, the first brushstroke is always the hardest. Everybody gets intimidated, whether it's canvas, journaling, life, whatever it is. We are all afraid of that first thing because you don't want to make a mistake. So you just don't move. You kind of just stay there. It's like analysis by paralysis, you're just like, what do I do? But once you just write the first words, whatever it is, it does not have to be perfect. Your handwriting can just be chicken scratch if you want it to be. You're gonna feel amazing. And what I like to do when I'm starting a journal or like an entry is I like to write the date. There's already something on that page. So I've already made a mess. So I write down the date and it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes I like write Aug and sometimes I write August, like it depends on how I'm feeling. But I don't make each page perfect because that's not what your journal is. Your journal is not the perfect version of you. It's all your flaws. Like that's your journal. Writing those first lines, just do it. Just make a mess. If you want to color in your journal, if you want to put your journal on the computer, you can do that. Like you can do whatever feels right for you. Some people like typing. I personally like to write things down manually, and that just makes everything come out of me, whereas I type all day long, so it just doesn't mean much to me when I'm typing. Tip number 2 is choosing the right journal for you. It's not always easy picking what journal makes sense for you and your lifestyle and what you need from a journal. I think about a journal like picking your best friend. You just don't pick any random person. When you're picking your best friend, it has to be somebody you can trust, somebody you can rely on, somebody who feels comfy and cozy and safe. And that's how I feel about my journal. My journal has to be something that I feel comfortable writing in. I'm not very particular about what I use to write, but I'm particular about the page. I like a thick page. I don't want to see the writing from the day before on the next page. Like I want to make sure that the pages are thick. And about my pen, I only use blue pen and I only use the big cheap stuff. I don't like a heavy pen. I have carpal tunnel in my hand, so I like a light pen that can just go across the page, and that's about it. You can go in and pick a small journal or you can pick a big journal. This one has tiny writing so you can finish your page fast. This one is a little bit more fancy. It has the gold trim, so you can pick something that's a little bit more bendable that can fit in to your handbag nicely. You can do a 5-minute journal that asks you questions every day. You can go with just a regular book, like a notebook. You can be sealed. You pick the color you want, whichever one works for you. You can pick a gratitude journal, and this one is just a bit bigger. You can pick a bullet journal if you like to color. This one is another bullet journal. You might like having fabric on, and you might want a journal that opens flat. Some people don't care, like I don't care, but you might want something that is completely flat. My journal of choice is my Harry Potter journal. I am a proud Gryffindor.
Right, okay. Gryffindor!
So that's the journal I decided to go with. When picking your journal, just be mindful. Just know that this is gonna be your best friend for 6 months to a year by the time you finish all the pages. So you just want to make sure that your journal feels safe. It feels good, it feels comfortable when you're writing. So this is tip number 2, picking the right journal that makes sense for you, your lifestyle, and how you feel. Tip number 3 is make journaling an event. Don't just journal. For me, I like to set a timer on my watch for 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, I pour my heart out. Whatever comes, I write down. All the things that have been eating me inside, I put it in my journal. And some people might want a nice cup of tea, or a cup of coffee, or water, or even a snack. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. My only thing is do not journal for like 20 minutes, especially not your first round, because you don't want to get to the point where you wrote everything and then you didn't process anything. Your journal is a way to process your thoughts. It's a way to empty your brain of the things that are not going so well, and then you kind of close it up and you walk away. You know, it's kind of like saying, this is what's wrong and I'm giving it to my journal, and you can take care of that part of my life. So it's almost cathartic when you are journaling. Bring in the magic to your journaling. Make yourself want to share by making it a special event. So what I was saying earlier was that you should be setting a 5-minute timer. So tip number 4 is journal for 5 minutes. It does not have to be an hour-long event. It could just be 5-10 minutes. You can journal in the morning when you wake up, or you can journal in the night, or maybe in the afternoon if you have time. It's the time that you feel either overwhelmed or you feel calm enough to share your feelings, okay? Your journal is a space where you can be yourself, and imagine being yourself for 5 minutes every single day. You don't have to smile, you don't have to, be friendly, you don't have to do any of those things in your journal. You just have to be honest with yourself. And if you can do that for 5 minutes each day, or even 10, I think that is more therapeutic than anything else. It will help your mind, it will help your anxiety, it will calm the nerves, it will calm the pressures of life. It just lets you get in touch with who you are at the core. It helps you manage your stress. It helps you build a relationship with some things so that you can build an external relationship with other people. Tip number 5, and which is my final tip, which I think it's the biggest tip, it's like the most important one, is to walk away. When you are done journaling, finish writing, you've done your 5 minutes, your 10 minutes, you need to walk away. Don't reread it, don't analyze it. You cannot fix yourself, right? This is just a way for you to get it out. And if you need to speak to a friend after this, or a therapist, or whatever, okay, you'll be able to speak better words. It's not going to be with anger, it's not going to be with hurt, it's not going to be with sadness, it's not going to be with even overjoy. It's going to be with peace, right? Because that's what your journal is going to bring you. It's going to bring you the peace of mind to know that it's all there. You've let it out, and now you can either speak to the person who upset you, or you can speak to somebody who can help, or laugh about it, whatever the case, because all that energy was put on those pages. that's it for today's video. If you like this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm always journaling, and I hope that this video has helped you figure out how to journal your feelings. It's about finding the right space, the right material, giving yourself the time to even write things down, and then sharing your whole self with your personal journal. Make sure that when you do have a journal and you are gonna write some stuff, make sure to keep it safe, okay? Don't want everybody reading what you have to say. So keep it safe. Make sure that you know where the journal is and you don't want to share with anybody else. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Have a great day.